That's the green door. Quite a lot of bees. A lot of little happy smiley faces looking up. So you see a lot of bees right in the middle here, which is great. Yeah, so they're coming up to eat that pollen. That tells me they are brood, which means we have a queen that's laying in here. I'm out here in my shorts. And clearly I don't have any gloves on. But I also don't have a veil on. I have one right there in case they heat up. I think this is going to go to Lance, because I think this is our strongest colony. Which makes sense because they get the predominant front door. So they're very active in their door. And you can see our neighbors over here. They're very active. And then we have, next I'm going to show you, our little lavender door. See, they're named. That's the lavender door. Oh my goodness. Loads of bees. Lots of comb being built in between here, you see? Happy smiley faces everywhere. Nice calm bees. Eating a lot of propolis. Yep. They've got bees all the way out to the outside of this wall. So they're ready for another box. Okay, so let's look at the biggest one here. This blue one in the middle. And holy cow. Alright, Lance. This is for you, buddy. They've eaten just about all of their pollen patty. And just a little bit left on the door here. So they are ready for a box. Doesn't that look great? Lots of activity. And they're eating up that pollen patty. It's good nutrition. Okay, so we're going to keep them closed up. And you know what's next? Yep, I got the torch out. And I got some extra frames here, letting those warm up. Got some lids, so I'm going to get the torch out and get the Kindness Matters box and the Venom Grows Here box and a beautiful angelic box. They're going to be good. So I'm going to torch the insides of these and the lids to get them clean and sterilized. Then I'm going to drop the 3 frames right into the middle of these hives. And then I'll drop a couple extra frames on the outside. I don't want to move around the core of the colony yet. So we're just going to put the 3 frames in the middle, put the pollen patty right over them, and leave them alone. We're not going to look. Not going to try to find the queen, because the fact that they're eating pollen and moving that around and the hive is getting bigger tells me that these queens that we did in divisions absolutely worked. And yes, we will look at those someday, but today's not it. So I just want to get them out of having 3 frames and get them into 5. That's the goal. So, yeah. Plus, everybody's going to have a straight shot out to the yard, and this little middle frame here will have a little bit of an advantage there. But they're going to do great. So I'm going to kind of scoot these down a skosh on each side, because I've got to make enough room for, 3 more boxes to fit in here with the nukes. And I've got enough room. We'll smush these around a little bit and shift. And if some bees float from one colony to the next, it's not a big deal at the end of the day. It's okay. These guys, I added another honey super. I hung a frame of capped honey right here, and then these are all special frames that are intended for comb honey, and we'll see how those come out. We might get some this year. This one I did, so these are the two brood chambers here. We know that we've seen brood here, and so we left them all this space for the brood chamber. I did add a queen excluder, and now they have a honey super on top, which means any of the worker honey that gets stowed up here, we can potentially harvest if we need to. But we want to make sure that they have plenty of honey first. This is a little swarm, and they look good. We're just going to leave them alone, let them build up, and yeah, keep feeding them. I checked on them today, they look terrific. It's always so fun to sterilize the boxes. Let's do the venom box. I blew it out. All right, turn it down. It's so useful on cobwebs. It just takes care of the cobwebs pretty quick. See what it does to the cobwebs? They just disintegrate right before your eyes. Cleans it right up really nicely. Isn't that nice? Then you don't reach around and grab a spider. That's what happens if you burn off their nest like this, and the spiders can go away. Find another home site. And here's a little bit of comb honey, or comb wax, and it can have wax moths eggs in it, so I like to just melt those into the wood. And that way you know they're not going to hatch on you. Sorry about the lawnmower. Alright, this looks pretty good. See, the screen's nice and clean this way. So you can have feed go through and nice airflow. And if it's plugged up with things, you know, with wax, you can just lightly torch it and it'll melt right off. So these are great. Okay, so we have 3 boxes ready. Let's set the lids over here. And these are, I took an old laundry jug and cut little strips with this, put screws in it, and then I took a grinder and I ground off the backs, and they work really nice for these covers. So, yep. Okay, let's get them moved over pretty soon. Alright, well, I'm ready. Got all 3 lids prepared. Have a box here with its second frame sitting right next to it, but the entrance is still open. And, oops, this one's moving around. We got these coming out. It's alright, girls. You don't have to fight. What could you move? This one with a frame and this one with a frame. And I've gotten some boxes moved and everybody pushed down a little bit, so they're going to have to shift about 2 feet down. They'll do that. Alright, so here we go. I'm not going to look hard and long at these. I'm just going to sort them out because at the end of the day, I just want to get them moved and start refeeding them. We've been handling these quite a bit, so I don't want to get too handsy on them anymore, if that makes sense. Hey, that's a pretty good angle. We'll go with that. Okay, Fast and Furious beekeeping. Here we go. So I'm going to move the green first. Let's find my web tool here. Okay. Hold on a minute. Found it. Alright, so I'm just gonna lift this pollen patty up. And take the outer frame because I need the queens in the middle. Pollen. Good. Syrup. No, not sure about that one. Supposed to be in that box, huh? Yep. That's alright. These guys look pretty good. Very well populated. Alright, so let's go here. This is heavy. A lot of nectar. Saw that, and a lot of pollen coming in. Really heavy nectar. We still have brood hatching here, but I do not see eggs in any of the cells. You'll notice I'm putting them back in exactly the same orientation as they were, because I don't want the colony to spend time trying to reorient. I don't know if these are taken yet. I don't see eggs. Oh yeah, we're gonna leave them. We'll take that pollen patty, put it on there. Alright, let's move these guys over. And see what they're going to do now. nectar, drone cells. Okay, we'll put that on the outside. It's a good food source. We might need to do some more queen development. Yeah, we should see eggs in all of those right now. Not quite what I expected to find. Yeah, see that side's dry. We're going to put that towards the middle. Alright, well, I don't know, Lance. We're going to set them in nukes, let them keep building out and developing bigger colonies. I might have to add some more brood to them to get them restarted. Hold them over their box and give them a little brush. I'm getting your box, girls. This one's going away. Okay. I don't know. I think we're going to have to let these keep building out because we really have expanded our colonies at this point. And I think we're going to need to add some more frames of fresh eggs. Because I'm not seeing signs of fresh eggs yet, which I kind of would expect. You can tell they like to crawl up the side and get back in. guys calm down a little bit. So the reason I moved this center box over is because it's getting the majority of the bees, and I want to distribute some of the filled bees into these other boxes. So I can move those around, and just moving the door will help do that. It's kind of silly, but it does work. And these guys all moved down about 2 feet. Maybe, yeah, about 2 feet. And you can see they're finding it. There's a little confusion. Everybody's having to do a shift. But they're going to figure it out. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to leave those lids cracked open now to let them go walk around. Yay. Alright, now we have my old queen castle. Close these doors to the ventilate position. And we'll put the lid back on. Not even need my veil. I had maybe 2 bees kind of chasing me around, but otherwise they're doing great. Really sweet bees this year. Yep, they're going to settle down nicely. Cool. And here you can see I have the solar wax melter set up. It's just a piece of sheet metal underneath the bin, and that all rolls down into a metal 3x9 baking dish with some water in it. And I put a attic screen there with a little more mesh. And it goes into the water so that it won't stick to the walls. And you'll get this beautiful yellow pure wax out of there. So I made it big enough that I can put 2 frames in there. Now as a beekeeper, you want to melt down your frames at least every 3 years. And the solar wax melter allows the wax to melt, but it only gets up about 125 degrees, which is perfect for wax, and it helps to preserve all the natural enzymes that are present. So this is the perfect way to melt wax. And it flows out of here and ends up kind of producing some really beautiful wax, like sculptures in a way, because it's like lava frozen in time, the wax when it gets done. So it's kind of fun to set them up this time of year. I do have some frames that I need to run through here and process and take care of some of that old wax, because the old wax can build up a lot of pesticides in it, and you can get some wax moths eggs and stuff in there. So this is kind of a heat treatment, and it helps to kill those off. So they're settling down nicely. They're going to be just fine. And we will, I'll come out tonight and close up the lids. But I'm not sure about these queens yet. They may have not yet been mated. They definitely looks like they have hatched. And they could be in a mating sequence right now. So by giving them more space, syrup and pollen, of course, they will continue to develop. At the very worst, we'll drop another frame of eggs in there and get them going. We'll get them one way or another. We'll get them going. That's the latest in the bee yard. All right, everybody, I love you. Bye-bye.